What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Untitled Gaming Channel. I am AJ Gels. Guys, welcome back to the show that I can't get off my lazy ass to do in time. As you can see at the bottom of my bottom right-hand corner of my screen, it's currently 3:13 p.m. Eastern Time. I keep trying to get this done by noon, but the problem was I sort of went to bed at 5 p.m. or 5 a.m. last night, mostly because if you follow me on Twitter, I found out that I could get Rogue Galaxy on PS4 with trophy support for $5 instead of the usual $15, and I bought and played that for longer than I care to admit. That was one of my favorite PS2 games. Don't judge me. Yeah, I don't know. I was super happy I could find that, but that's not for this show. This is the weekly news show. If you're new to this program, basically what I do, I gather news from around the web that interests me, gaming news, for that matter, that interests me, and I bring it here and I talk about it. I read articles, I give my takes on the articles. You can find a link to everything I talk about, everything I show in the description below, along with a timestamp of when I cover that topic. If I ever miss a topic or forget something, always remember you can send me links in the comments / in DMs through any other social media. Stuff is in the description below, and I will be happy to either do a separate video or maybe cover it next week, something like that. Because again, it's always possible that I can miss stuff. I also, welcome you to disagree with my opinions, and always feel free to put stuff in the comments below. I know this intro is already running on longer. I'm trying to shorten these intros, but there is one big thing that that I just caught on an IGN, like top 5 news, whatever thing. And that is, there are some really heavy accusations being leveled against Quantic Dreams right now, the studio behind Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and the upcoming Detroit Become Human. Apparently some French outlets came out and were saying that there's some employee abuse, and I mean, like, this is, originally I thought this was going to be the usual, crunch time, blah, 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 blah stuff. No, it goes beyond that. There's some accusations of racism, as sexism, and just a lot of really bad misconduct on the top brass part, the tops of the studio. Now, I want to be 100% clear. This is not me saying that this has happened or this is definitively what's going on. I'm saying there have been accusations levied. I'm sure there are articles out there. I looked into this for maybe about 5 minutes, and I'm not talking about it right now, or more than this. I'm not doing an in-depth look into this and giving opinions just because I don't have anything other than accusations have been levied. So if this goes further, I will definitely, I'll talk about it if you guys want to. I just try to avoid social issues on the channel, just because I try and keep this about games and not the social crap, because I think we have enough of that in our daily lives. I like this to just kind of be a place for fun and entertainment. But if you want me to talk about it, I'll talk about it when we have more information. I just wanted to say, if anybody was going to say, well, you didn't talk about this, it was a big deal. Yes, I understand. But in my opinion, we just have accusations at the moment, no actual investigation, nothing that I've seen. So that's just me throwing that out there. All right, now on to our first topic, our first story of the day. We have Hunt Showdown closed alpha sign up now open. Article Matt Davidson, IGN. I'm not sure if anybody remembers Hunt Showdown. This is a game that's kind of been popping in and out. You'll see, I've seen it at a few conferences, a few things here and there. It's sort of a, how to explain this? It is a first-person shooter set, I think, Civil War era, because it's revolvers and that kind of era weaponry, which I like that time period. I like the history from around there. The look, the kind of gritty cowboy look, the revolvers, all that. Yet in a supernatural, like, bounty hunting game, it's a really kind of a weird concept, yet I think they did something really cool, because from what I've seen, is it kind of dumps you off into this big kind of open area, and you have your bounty, you have what you're set to hunt, but you not only have to deal with what you're there to hunt, you also have to deal with, I think they're like little normal enemies in the area, and there's other players that you have to worry about, because they can kill you and take your loot, take your gear. So it's kind of a PvE/PvP game, but all at the same time. Most games you say like this, kind of like they do it separately. They have the PvE section, the PvP section. This is kind of the same thing in one, and I like the concept. Well, let's get into this. Hunt Showdown, the new bounty hunting game from Crysis developer Crytek, has opened registrations for a closed alpha testing phase, which will begin on January 31st. A select group of gamers will be chosen from the sign-up list and are promised the opportunity to play the game regularly as part of the test group, helping the development team to test, and I quote, gameplay balancing and back-end functionality, I'm sorry, I can't read, while also providing their own feedback on the game's progress during the alpha phase. Players are promised that, and I quote, new weapons, equipment, traits, and ranks, end quote, will be continuously released and tested, so there should be plenty to keep alpha testers occupied. Hunt Showdown describes itself as a, and I quote, competitive multiplayer bounty hunting game, end quote, that utilizes both PvP and PvE elements. During each match, up to 10 players working either singly, that's weird, singly or in pairs, are tasked with taking down gruesome monsters and collecting a bounty, at which point they become the target and the attention of every other player turns towards attempting to claim the bounty for their own. That was worded very oddly. So it surprises me sometimes what gets through editorial. Moving on. Anyone interested in registering for the alpha team can do so via the game's official website. There's a link right here. You can do that. I'll be probably doing that later. Successful applicants will receive their their invitations via email. Back in October, we featured Hunt Showdown as part of IGN's first take a look at what we thought of the game. Tense, chaotic fun. Again, right here. There's currently no release date for the game, and with alpha testing not yet underway, it's likely to be some time before we see a full release. If you're championing it, I thought that was champing at the bit. Signing up for the alpha is the best way to get your fix. I think that pretty much covered everything. I'm interested in the game. It looks really neat. Like I said, I like the time period. I like the concept, and I'm not usually big into multiplayer games. You know what? Actually, I think there is a game I can kind of compare this to. It's because it's like I'm saying, it's kind of a PvE/PvP thing at the same time. It's kind of like the Dark Zone or at least as far as I can kind of understand it, it's kind of like the Dark Zone in The Division, where there are normal enemy, there's computer just based enemies, but you also have to deal with other players. And I think that's really cool because you're not all hunting the same thing, but you can come into contact. I think once you kill your target, then you have to get to an escape point, but you show up on other people's maps. I'd suggest checking out the IGN first or just other coverage for this game to get more in-depth, more specific looks, because I'm kind of talking off the top of my head right now. But it is a really cool game. It is a really cool concept. Check it out, and if you're interested, sign up for the alpha. Moving on, a game I really liked. I really liked Life is Strange Before the Storm. The entire main series, the entire first three episodes, the entire 3-episode miniseries, there we go, is on the channel. It takes place, it's Chloe before the original game of Life is Strange. Honestly, I like the original Life is Strange. I know some people didn't. I like the kind of graphic adventure, kind of Telltale-esque style of the game. I think some of the writing and acting was a little iffy in the original Life is Strange, and I think they stepped it up in Life is Strange Before the Storm. All in all, enjoyed the mini-series. I also have access to the special episode, and we will be playing that when that releases. I think it's supposed to be sometime this month, but either way, moving on. Life is Strange Before the Storm physical versions coming in March. Article Brian Barnett, IGN. Life is Strange Before the Storm is getting a physical release on March 6th. The game will receive 3 different physical editions: a standard edition, limited edition, and vinyl edition. The standard and vinyl editions are available for pre-order on the Square Enix store. The standard edition is available for PS4 and Xbox One, costs $30 and includes every episode of Before the Storm, as well as the special bonus episode Farewell. It also includes a digital download for episode 1 of the first season of Life is Strange. It also comes with 3 outfits for Chloe and a mixtape mode, which allows players to use the game's licensed soundtrack to create their own playlist to use while watching a cinematic scene from the game. I want to add here that the licensed soundtrack for this game is damn good. It is a really, really, really good soundtrack. Most of the music's from, I don't know what genre to call them, the band Daughter. I have a Pandora channel for them. It's really kind of soft listening, really easy listening. They're a good band, and I really like the music to this game. Again, I'm gonna go off on this tangent too. I really like. I'm gonna keep saying this. I really hope when Don't Nod makes, because they're working on Life is Strange 2. I really hope they they kind of pull something from Deck 9's playbook. If they're going to pull one thing from Deck 9, I want them to use the Unity engine. This game and its art style, I think, popped and looks so much better on Unity than it did on the Unreal 2? It was Unreal 2 or 3. I think it was Unreal 2 that the original Life is Strange ran on. But which I liked that engine. I liked the way it looked, but I think everything looked so much better in Unity. So I really hope that Don't Nod, when they're making the second game, they're taking that kind of that little kind of take what works from Deck 9. Let's see. The vinyl edition. Wait, I missed one. A $40 US limited edition for Xbox One and PS4 is available for pre-order on Amazon. This version includes everything from the standard edition, as well as an art book and a CD containing the game's soundtrack. The vinyl edition of Before the Storm costs $70 US and is exclusive to the Square Enix store. It's available for PS4 and Xbox One, and PC players can opt to purchase this version with a digital download code. The vinyl edition contains everything from the standard edition, as well as an exclusive vinyl music set of the original soundtrack, a CD of the soundtrack, a physical art book, and a presentation book. Excuse me. Pre-ordering the vinyl edition will grant players an exclusive Chloe and Rachel figurine and the classic Chloe outfit DLC. I technically have that. Be sure to check out blah, 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 blah. Again, all in all, loved the game. I think the vinyl edition is... That's kind of much for me. My ex-girlfriend got really into vinyl near the end of our relationship, and I never understood it. Mostly because I think a lot of modern music isn't made to be listened to on vinyl. Like, I'm talking, like, stuff from 2000, like, she had CDs of, I think she had, like, Green Day on vinyl, and I listened to it, and I'm just like, it doesn't sound right, just because I don't think it was meant to be played on vinyl. I don't know. It just never sounded right to me. Yet, older stuff, I think sound, like, stuff from the 70s and earlier, sounded great when played on a record, but that's because that's what it was meant to be played on. So, All right, let's move on. We're kind of done with the little mini topics. Now onto the big thing I wanted to talk about this week. This just nutty announcement by Nintendo. Nintendo announces Labo build-it-yourself cardboard kits compatible with Nintendo Switch. Article Andrew Goldfarb, IGN. I think this is a weird idea, in my opinion. All right, Nintendo has revealed Nintendo Labo, a new line of build-it-yourself experiences that will be compatible with Nintendo Switch and will launch on April 20th in North America, Australia, New Zealand, and April 27th in Europe. Starting with cardboard kits, players will be able to build creations that can then be connected to Switch and interact with specific software, according to Nintendo. Labo kits will include modular cardboard sheets, and I quote, specifically designed to interact with the Nintendo Switch. How do you... Never mind. Whatever. That can be crafted into creations Nintendo is calling Toy-Con. I just want to ask a question. How can you design cardboard... How... They design... Okay. Let's watch the trailer. okay, that looks really cool. Yet, how much you want to bet it doesn't work that well out of the box? Because I want to see some kid put that together, and it's nothing like it's supposed to. It's like those Lego sets. Like I could never build those things, but that's because I also don't have a attention span long enough to help me build a Lego set. But I see so many problems with that. You know, like something gets wet, a pet destroys it. There's something. I don't know. I see a multitude of issues with that. But let's see here. And I quote, for example, you can make a functioning 13-key piano that brings out your musical arrangements to life once the Nintendo Switch console and right Joy-Con controller are inserted, end quote. Nintendo explains in the announcement, and I quote, as you play, the IR motion camera in the right Joy-Con detects which keys are pressed and plays each note through the console's built-in speakers. Budding musicians can also experiment with their own musical creations. Okay, so through that same kind of logic, then, couldn't I make a paper keyboard and still, because if it's not the pressing of the key that causes the sound, it's the motion camera reading my hand motions, then couldn't I just tap through the same logic, couldn't I just tap like a piece of paper or something with a keys on it, and it would then play through the speakers? Would that also work? I don't know. I'm not trying to bash on this. It's just, this seems really weird to me that we're going with cardboard. And I think I understand. It's a low cost. It's to get kids into this, and it's this. Oh, it's kind of this. You built it yourself kind of thing. It's just. I see issues with it, like a pet destroying it, somebody stepping on it, water, just multiple things. It just, I don't know. Tell me what you think. Am I being too much of a curmudgeon? So here, let's finish this up. And I quote, or you can take control of your very own motorbike by constructing a functioning set of handlebars with a Joy-Con inserted in each side and the Nintendo Switch console cradled in the middle. End quote. The announcement adds, and I quote, simply hit the ignition button, turn the right handle to engage the accelerator, and watch your adventure unfold on the Nintendo Switch screen as you race to new destinations, end quote. Nintendo will offer 2 kits to start. A variety kit will be available for $69.99. That's US dollars, and includes variety kit software as well as materials to build 2 RC cars, a fishing rod, a house, a motorbike, and a piano that can be built out of cardboard and attached to Switch. I also want to see how you store these things, just because, again, it's like I said, cardboard. You can't set stuff on top of them. You can't just chuck them in a corner. Granted, you probably don't want to do that with your electronics, but again, a robot kit will be available for $79.99. That's, again, US dollars, and offers robot kit software as well as materials to build a robot suit. Nintendo will also offer a customization kit for $9.99 that includes 2 stencil sheets, 2 sticker sheets, and 2 decorative tape rolls. The reveal follows a tease earlier today that promised an experience specifically crafted for kids and those who are kids at heart. Last week, Nintendo revealed a handful of new blah, 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 all that stuff. Yeah, neat idea, neat concept. I'm not going to say it's not going to do well because I got burned when the Switch came out. But I see issues with this. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Tell me, am I just being, like I said, a curmudgeon? Yeah. All right, moving on. Still in Nintendo Switch news. Nintendo Switch sold 1.5 million units in the last month. Jesus Christ. In the U.S. last month, let me be more specific. Seth G. Macy, IGN. Article reads, Nintendo celebrated the holiday season by coming in with the top sales numbers for the month of December. According to Nintendo reporting numbers from analysts, the NPD Group, Nintendo Switch moved 1.5 million units in the month of December, making it the top-selling console in the United States once again. At the beginning of the month, Nintendo announced the Switch was the fastest-selling console in U.S. history, selling 4.8 million units since its introduction in March 2017. The success of Switch seems to have bled over to the Nintendo 3DS, with Nintendo reporting it sold 750,000 units in the month units in the month. That's okay. Again, oddly phrased in my opinion. And I quote, 27% increase over the same period a year ago, end quote. Nintendo said between Switch, 3DS, and Super NES Classic, and I quote, half of all hardware sold during the month, or 2.6 million units, was from Nintendo. Super Mario Odyssey was the Switch's best-selling game, coming in third place for overall sales during the month, according to Nintendo. Nintendo revealed Nintendo Labo and all that crap. I gotta hand it to Nintendo again. Like this was kind of a quick one-off, just to kind of give an idea of how well Nintendo's doing. But I'm surprised that the Switch did that well. I didn't see it doing this well, and now that I have one, I gotta say I really like the Switch. I haven't played mine in a little bit, but I do need to get back into Xenoblade because I really like the new Xenoblade Chronicles. A really good game. But I mean, I'm also probably going to get Darkest Dungeon for my Switch, and I'm kind of waiting for, I'd probably pick up Doom and Wolfenstein. I'm definitely going to be playing, because I'll be playing the new Valkyria Chronicles on the channel. I think that's Valkyria Chronicles 4? Yeah, it's 4, because 2 and 3 were PSP titles. I have 2 on my PSP, and 3 never came west. I think that's how that worked. Either way, I'm off track. But when Valkyria Chronicles 4 comes out, I'm playing that on Switch. And I'm playing it here on the channel on my Switch. Because of everything, I can actually play it on Switch, and that's going to be really cool, really fun. So I really like my Switch, and I keep saying every time I see one of these stories, I have to admit I was wrong. All right, moving on to our final story of the evening. New Fable game being developed at Forza Horizon Studio. Article by Oscar Deas of GameSpot. I tweeted about this. I got so happy when I found out that this was true. I saw that, there's going to be a new Fable game, and I'm like, it's like there's talks of a new Fable game. I'm like, okay, it's probably crap, but now that I'm hearing no, it's happening, I got super excited. A new Fable game is in the article reads, a new Fable game is in the works at Forza Horizon developer Playground Games. Why did I just say Horizon? That's not right. Excuse me. According to a new report, excuse me, geez. Eurogamer's sources say the new title will be a, and I quote, story and character focused open world action RPG, end quote. Jeez. Really hurt. As opposed to a spin-off such as the multiplayer-centric Fable Legends or motion-controlled Fable The Journey. The game is apparently still in the early stages of development at Playground's newly opened second studio. The company has previously confirmed that it's working on a non-racing open-world game, codenamed Project 2, but until now we had no idea what that might be. A Microsoft representative told GameSpot that the company, and I quote, does not comment on rumor or speculation, end quote. Regarding the rumors, Fable co-creator Simon Carter, I can't read, told Eurogamer he has, and I quote, slightly mixed feelings, end quote. He continued, on the one hand, it's great for the UK games industry and very pleasing that Fable isn't dead. Indeed, it will be lovely to play one as a punter without coming out in hives. What? Okay. On the other hand, it is a little curious to get rid of the team that is uniquely expert in making Fable and then try and make Fable. Fable is a weird game and a tough one to deconstruct for a new team. That said, the team in question is very talented, and I'm sure they'll do a fantastic job. And see, I think that's a very good point, and that was actually going to be what I was about to say, is that with Lionhead not doing this, I want to see if we're going to see a change in tone for Fable. Or even if they don't outright change the tone, if it's still going to be that same kind of dumb fantasy humor that I really love Fable for. I mean, personally, I love all the Fables. I haven't fully played Fable 1 just because it was an Xbox One title, or an OG Xbox title. And I was kind of young when it came out, but I played Fable 2 and 3 in depth, and I love the Fable games. And I'm just curious if this studio is going to do it. I don't want to say do Lionhead proud and do because I want them to make their own game, but I think if you're going to play if you're going to make something new in a franchise, you have to make something that fits within the scope of the franchise. Otherwise, it's going to basically kind of be a standalone title. So, if hopefully that made sense, and I'm not going in circles. But I'm basically what I'm hoping for is that it's still a Fable series in like tone and tone. But I do want to see what Playground can do with this IP, if that makes sense. I'm just really hoping they don't try and make Fable serious, because it wouldn't be right. Let's see here. Fable was created in 2004 by Peter Molyneux companies, Peter Molyneux's company Lionhead, and its sister company Big Blue Box. That's a fun name to say. Each further game in the main series was made by Lionhead until Microsoft closed the developer down in 2006, canceling Fable Legends in the process. Fable has been dormant since, though Microsoft still retains the rights to the series and is therefore free to task other developers with making new entries. Eurogamer reports states Microsoft desires to revive Fable was in part inspired by Sony's Horizon Zero Dawn and its critical and commercial success. Excuse me, jeez. I was doing fine up until this last article. That makes sense to me, seeing that really Microsoft hasn't had a lot of big single player kind of games. I mean, we've seen Forza and they've had a few other things, but they haven't had a big exclusive Microsoft single player game. I mean, especially since the last big one I can remember that it wasn't a Forza game was probably Gears of War 4. And that one, people weren't massive fans of it, and I'm still hoping for Gears of War 5 because I actually liked what the Coalition did with Gears of War, but that's a different story. Sony's really been nailing it with single player content. I mean, stuff like the new Uncharted, and this, and we're going to get another Last of Us, and God of War, and the new Spider-Man, and I keep forgetting the name. Son of a bitch. It's the one with the biker. People keep correcting me on this, and I love the game. I keep kind of like pulling it out of my head just because it's the one with the freakers, the biker, zombie apocalypse game. I keep forgetting the name of it. Oh. And I love the concept of the game, too. I gotta push this out of my head. I'll remember it in like 2 minutes. They have all these big single player games lined up. Hell, I'd like to see another. I can't think of the name. I'm blanking right now. It's Infamous. There we go. Jeez, I am not doing great right now in my headspace. But I mean, Sony's really been nailing it with the single player titles right now, and I don't think Microsoft has been able to keep up with that. So I think this is a good marketing choice, but again, it's weird that you're giving this off to a new studio. Granted, I mean, you closed the last studio, but still. Playground's last game was 2016's Forza Horizon 3. The company has released a new Forza Horizon title every 2 years since 2012, and that pattern would suggest a fourth entry in the spin-off series would be due this year. A second team could allow for the development of both a new Forza Horizon title and a new Fable game concurrently. However, as yet, the company has not officially confirmed either title. The studio's founder, Ralph Fulton, has said Playground would not be abandoning racing games altogether. And I quote, "Our business with Forza over the last 6-7 years has been great for us," he said in February 2017. "It remains the cornerstone of our business. We're not running away from racing. We still feel passionate about making new racing games and delivering new experiences for our players." Horizon 3 was a watershed game for us. It's certainly our best reviewed game critically. It's our most commercially successful game as well. It's the first time we've experienced the commercial breakout hit phenomenon. The other games have been successful, but not on the level of this one. We want to keep doing that. In a way, that game took 6 years to make, so we want to keep developing the skill set and publishing and pushing new boundaries. End quote. And there you go. There's a little look at that. Like, I think I made my point clear. I'm excited about this. I really want to see them do well, and I really love Fable and can't wait to see it. But that's going to about do it for the news show this week. I have one more thing I'm going to play at the end, and that's going to be how we close this out. It's a trailer for the new Batman: The Enemy Within, episode 4 for Telltale, and I can't wait to play it. It's going to be a whole hell of a lot of fun. Excuse me. Jeez. Thank you for watching, everybody. As always, you can always find me over on Facebook, Twitter, the website, minds.com. Links to all that stuff is in the description below. Please remember to like, comment. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more next time. And until then, I am AJ Gels. This is the Untitled Gaming Channel. I'm out.
I wouldn't put money on your chances of walking out of here.
War always carries a cost. And my war on crime is no different. The truth is, no matter how hard I fight, sometimes I have to lose. Lotus, Megavirus, only one known survivor, Riddler.
Harley's back is against the wall. If she has Riddler's blood, she'll be incredibly dangerous. I hardly know what she's going to do next.
Harley?
No. Director Waller.
The time for talking is over. The only thing she understands is brute force.
All squads move in!
You steered me wrong at every turn! You could have prevented everything.
I wouldn't put money on your chances of walking out of here.
This is so exciting. The moment we've all been waiting for.